Recently, I've been given the Google Home, a voice-activated speaker with a voice assistant function. I was never a fan of any voice command or voice assistant of any devices because I felt like the technology wasn't there yet and it caused me more problems than it was helpful. But having this here and having not used any voice command for a little while now, I'm willing to give it a try and we'll see if it can convince me that voice command or voice assist is here to stay. So let's get started. Now, before we talk about Google Home's features, function, and how it performs, I just want to show you guys the unboxing experience. It's actually quite nice and it makes your device feel so premium. For the physical appearance, it is very minimal. As you can see, it's just plain white and a little bit of gray from the mesh. It has the shape of an air freshener, but in the end, it's not intrusive and that's all that matters. It's supposed to blend into your environment. On the top, this entire surface is a touch surface. You can control volume, for instance, and if you tap it, it'll play music and so on. But my only issue is that there's no indication on this surface. So if you forget what it does, then you're out of luck. But to be fair, you're mostly going to use voice command with this and you're not going to be touching the surface. Setting up the Google Home is fairly simple. First step, plug the power into the Google Home. Second step, plug the wall outlet in. And third step,
download the Google Home app on a phone or tablet.
Then launch the app and it should automatically find the Google Home device and follow the on-screen instructions. What is the currency exchange rate for Canadian to US dollar?
1 Canadian dollar is approximately 75 United States cents.
When is the release date of the Galaxy S8?
April 21st, 2017.
Add to my calendar on April 20th, dentist appointment at 3 p.m.
Sorry, I can't add events to your calendar yet.
How many liters is in a gallon?
1 U.S. liquid gallon equals 3.785 liters.
What's the fastest car in the world?
Bugatti Veyron Super Sport, according to some information I found on Digital Trends.
Play Like the First Time.
Since I couldn't find the song Feels Like the First Time in your music library, here's a similar mix on Google Play Music.
Convert 458 grams to pounds.
458 grams equals 1.01 pounds.
Now I know that some people don't like having a mic on 24/7 listening to them, but that's not too big of a deal with the Google Home because at the back they've included a mute button for the microphone. One press,
microphone off,
turns it off. It'll actually leave you red lights in the front here so that you know it's muted. And obviously, pressing it again once in the back,
microphone on,
turns it back on. The speaker is actually hidden behind this mesh thing here, which you can switch out to different colors to match your home, but that is purchased separately. To do that though, you would twist it gently and it'll come right off. This also reveals the speakers. There's actually 3 of them inside. They're fairly small, but they do pack a nice punch, which is fantastic for such a small device. The only downside to this is that the EQ isn't too great, and it sounds very boomy. If they added any adjustment or any ability to change the EQ to your liking, then this would have been fantastic. And to put this back, you simply put it in and it'll snap back into place because there's 2 magnets actually in the bottom. From testing the Google Home and throwing a bunch of random commands, I've got to say the voice recognition software is fantastic. It nearly never got any word wrong. Even when the volume is on full blast, which is quite loud actually, it can hear your commands without a problem, even if you're speaking softly. But for features and functions, it's not implemented that well. For instance, playing music off my phone. That is apparently not possible unless I upload my music to Google Play Music from a computer first. However, if you use online services such as Spotify Premium and Google Play Music, then it'll work fine. But any local stuff seems to have issues. Extending from that, I could not get voice command to add an event to my calendar. It simply says,
"Sorry, I can't add events to your calendar yet,"
without any other information. So it didn't tell me why or how I can fix it or anything. It simply left me in the dark like that. So basically, software side, there's a lot of improvement that can be made. But who is the Google Home for? Well, I know immediately it's not for me, but the Google Home is fantastic for people who are hands-on with a lot of their works. For instance, cooking or sculpting and so on, where your hands do get dirty. That would be fantastic, especially since those jobs usually have a lot of conversions going on. For instance, converting grams to pounds and so on, which the Google Home answers fantastically. But as for me, the Google Home did not convince me to change my opinion on voice assistant devices. I simply don't think the software is there yet, apart from the voice recognition side, which is working fantastically. I still feel like a bunch of stuff is just faster taking out my phone and tapping a few items on screen. But I definitely see the potential it has in the future. Once they correct the software, once they make it more user-friendly, I can absolutely see Voice Assistant or Google Home in everybody's home.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z.